is Paola. I am from the seventh cycle of Profesorado de Enseñanza Media del Idioma Inglés from Facultad de Humanidades in Universidad de San Carlos. And today we're going to talk about slavery, and specifically in the 18th and 19th century. So let's begin. I'm going to show you this presentation and we're going to discuss and analyze the content of this. Okay, as I told you, this is slavery in the 18th and 19th century. We're going to be discussing and talking about some specifically events or movements that happen between all of these situations. Those are the sources if you need more information or if you want to read about the slavery in those centuries. There you can find a lot of information, and there are information about any kind of social movement that you can imagine or you want to investigate. Okay, so moving on, and to begin with, we're going to discuss the first movement, big movement, and it was the Black Power movement. This was a political and social movement, and it's important for you to know that everything about slavery was political, social, and economical. But today we're just going to focus in political and social because those are the aspects that had more echo. So let's start. As I told you, this was a political and social movement, and they were fighting for equality no matter their skin colors. They were also defending Black citizens' interests and trying to end with the white supremacist power. As you can see, there are some pictures about this movement, and it was through these centuries, 18 and 19, that African Americans fought to break down barriers of racism, violence, and poverty. Here you can find a picture of Mr. James Meredith. He is an African American civil rights activist, writer, political analyst, and here's something interesting about him. He is also an Air Force veteran. Now, something important about all the things that he made and that caught our attention the most was that he attempted to complete a peaceful march when suddenly he was shot in an ambush. So this is how big slavery was or segregation was for black citizens. Now you can find here three important characters of history in USA, specifically for African American citizens. You're going to find Martin Luther King, Floyd McKissick, and Stokely Carmichael. Those three men that you can see in the picture were civil rights activists. They came from the civil rights movements. Um, and the reason why they are together is because they have the same feeling about how segregated was their community. So they started to make noise in order to be heard by politics, by society, by community entities, so they can help them to become part of this big society that was United States society. So the Black Power movement grew out of the civil rights movements, as I told you. That's why they are together. They led together because they were fighting for the same things. The Black Power movement have a lot of consequences, but their most important consequences and positive consequences were in politics, in cultural life, social, and also in how communities were organized, because black citizens now are part, because of this movement, they're part of something new, of something big. They feel like they belong to this society. They have this is a change, the historical change. It marks an entire generation, and it shaped the political consciousness of African Americans. Now, the second big movement is breaking the color line. This movement was so big that was not only into social life, but into their culture, into their the things that they enjoy the most: sports, TV, and so on. So it was by the 1940s that organized baseball had been racially segregated for many, many years. And this changed just because this little man that you can see in the picture who is signing papers, this major movement started with Jackie Robinson, who signed for the Brooklyn Dodgers. As you can see here, he is the only one in their team who is black. Why? Because black players were not allowed to play in the major league. This changed because of this important change, because they decided that yes, he was black, but he was also a good player. He was one of the best. So why don't accept him in the team? They accepted him, and this made a huge change for USA society, because this was something they enjoy the most. Baseball is one of the things that they feel like it's part of their history, it's part of their culture. So this was a significant change. Now, this event in baseball led to another major event that changed how society perceived black citizens. But this time, this event was not in sport, it was in a beauty contest. Black women were not allowed to be part of this beauty contest, Miss America. So so they decided to create their own beauty pageant, beauty contest named Miss Black America Contest. The thing about this contest is that casually this happened the same day as Miss America pageant, the one that they are not were not allowed. So this the reaction of people was to protest in order to avoid the white stereotype, to start fighting for the civil rights, and feminist activists start showing. So this was a huge event that marked history, because after that you will find that they're starting to take in count black women into this contest, and it was not until 1984 that Vanessa Williams from New York was crowned as the first Black Miss America. There were people who linked this accomplishment to the one that had Jackie Robinson in baseball. So that's it for today. I hope that you learn interest facts about slavery, and keep reading. This is important. Keep reading about this movement, because this was something that changed the world, not only one country, but the world. So see you in the next time. Bye.